There we go. We're live. Mute that so we don't have any feedback issues. How's everybody doing tonight? Lars says, "You grow it, we'll mow it." Well, get over here. We got all kinds of weeds to grow, all kinds of weeds to mow, Lars. Weeds to mow and wood to split and all kinds of crap. It's been busy, busy, busy around here. Mr. Cope says, "We want the show. We want the show." Yes, well, I was watching your show. I had to go get a couple bottles of water and get ready to go for this. And now we're live. Good to see you, man. Hope says, "Day I get out of prison, my own brother picks me up in a police car." Oh hell yeah! One of these days, I'm gonna find me one of them cars. My dad had one when I was growing up. It wasn't a Bluesmobile. It was, in fact, a retired California Highway Patrol car, '74 Monaco with a 440 in it. Always dreamed of the day I'd get to drive that car, and unfortunately, he wrecked it in a parking structure when I was 10 years old. Let's see. Mr. Dust Devil Brian says, "I got a shop full of misfits looking at my new old car. I heard you finally got your satellite delivered, Brian. Congratulations. Looking forward to seeing that come together for you." Mr. Peckerwood in the house. Rich is in the house. Bill 756 is in the house. Good to see you. We got Dakota, who's drunk the day he got out of prison. Ain't you a little young to be going to prison there, Dakota? JB says, "What the hell is going on in here?" Lars is asking Rich why he didn't accept the 57 offer. I'm guessing he's talking about what's going on, trying to get that acquired for Mr. BRG and John's live. Go to jumping live streams like his uncle Tops Bars. Comments are just flying in tonight. Good to see everybody in here. It's been a minute since we had a Friday night live, and we're going to change that. Things are been real crazy around here. Busy, busy, busy. We restored a 48 Willys Jeepster earlier this year. And we got this 1960 Ranchero in the shop right now that's going to be taking up a bunch of my time. Got another customer car. Really enjoy doing these lives, and I'll start getting back into doing them. JB says Rich is an asshole because he's still blocked. Bill says today's number 65 for him. Dakota says Mama got run over by a damned old train. Rich says you're not blocked, JB, otherwise I would not be able to see your text in here. I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not, Rich. I know if it was your live for sure, but not 100% sure if that is actually the case. YouTube keeps changing things up on us every day. LP says 68 Ranchero. No, it's a 1960 Ranchero. Try and do a little filming on this one. We got a bunch of patchwork to do on the floor. It's kind of an on the cheap repair. I wanted to put a whole pan in it, but customer doesn't want to do that. So we're just gonna do what we can to get it sealed up and get some structure back in it. Kind of go from there. Fix this camera a little bit. Get my face in it and not covered up by the comments. Scott with an S, Heavens Mopar says, "Hey Tony, I finally made it. Glad you did. Glad you did." JB says he needs hoodies. We can absolutely make that happen for you. How'd the how'd you like your shirts? Did everything go good with them? You get some giveaway, get some sold, I hope. Rich said, "I'd rather be an asshole than a whole ass." How about that? That is a good one. I've been saying that for years. Dougster says we all need structure. Indeed. JB says not to worry about Lars because he's an asshole. That's Mr. Asshole to you, right? Shirts were great. Glad you liked them. Yeah, I thought they turned out pretty cool. Watch out for them loose lug nuts. Mohawk says, "Rich, I'm a whole ass. That's what I tell the girls so they can kiss me anywhere." Good one. That's a good one, Mohawk. Bill says, "I had a 70 GT Ranchero. The 60s are neat." Yeah, the 60s were still on the Falcon body. By 1970, they'd moved on to the Torino body. I actually wouldn't mind finding me a early 70s. Really like to find 73. I really like the grill front end on the 73s, either a Gran Torino or a Ranchero. I haven't made a whole lot of noise about it, but not too long ago I picked up I forget now. I believe it's a 1966 A Scratch 428, complete virgin, standard bore, standard crank, standard everything. Never been worked over. 428. My buddy that owns a machine shop here in town, guy that does all my machine work for me, had it sitting there. And I said, "Bill, do I spy an FE in the corner over there?" He says, "Yeah, it's 428 and it's for sale." I said, "What do you got to have for it? I can't just leave it sit there." And I brought it home. So we're going to do something fun with it. JB says, "I think Rich finally figuring out that we're not against him." I hope so. We never were. All we ever wanted to do was help him out. I do think that 57 Chevy's a pretty cool car, and I'd love to see it on the road. JB says, "Just stay in your lane." Yeah. Rich says, "Well, occasionally I like to jump double yellow." Yeah, sometimes when you got to pass one of them slow pokes on the old 2 lane. Mohawk says, "I had a girl tell me to kiss her ass. I said, 'Move your nose. I don't work in the shade.'" I'm gonna have to remember that one there, buddy. That's a good one. Said 428 made big, sad puppy eyes at Tony. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I'm a sucker for anything FE. Love the FEs. Everybody loves the honey badger. We actually were reached out to by people put on the Veterans Car Show that we attended earlier this year with the honey badger rat rod. And we had no idea that we'd won, but we actually took a first place trophy for the People's Choice Rat Rod at that show. They reached out to Jason, told him he'd won, and wanted an address to send the trophy to. It's actually a really nice plaque. I'll show you a picture of it here in a little bit. Bill says, "I love 428s. They have everything." Indeed, they do. When I build this one, I'm probably gonna go a little nuts on it, kind of like I did the 451 Moparts in my truck. This one just got, we'll just say, they're just heads. They're not the CJ heads like what's on the Honey Badger. So probably won't use them. I'll freshen them up and valve job them and sell them to somebody that wants them or needs them, and put something nice on it. Probably says Trick Flows. It'll make a whole bunch of power. Really like to get my hands on a set of Jay Brown's heads from FE Power, but I don't have that kind of money. Not to mention they're not real easy to get your hands on. Dougster says, 428 of my dreams is the Pontiac HO. Those things are beast stock. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Bill says the Honey Badger is badass. I agree. Really do. Really do enjoy that car. I'm glad you guys do too. It's been a lot of fun building it. Dakota says, reckon you could have a 352 machine to sleeve to a 427 bore. Well, a good machinist could do anything, but 427 is a very large bore. 352 is a 4-inch bore. Let me see. I forget off the top of my head what a 427 bore is. It is the biggest of all the FEs. Yeah, 4.232. 4 and 232 thousandths. That's so you're effectively going 232 over in a 352. I think that would be difficult. FE power heads are great. Yes, they are. And there's not a whole lot of them even in existence. I think Jay's actually got a standing order again for a round 2 batch of them to be cast when he gets a certain. I think it's 100 that he wants, 100 orders before he casts another batch. But yeah, it'd sure be fun to play with a set of them. I don't know if any of you guys follow Brent Likens on YouTube. He's a hell of an FE engine builder. I've actually got some of his own parts are in the FE, the 428 that's in the Honey Badger. Excellent stuff. If you don't know who Brent Likens is and you're into FEs, you should probably check him out. Dakota, the 427 is 232 thou bore, which might as well be 4 1/4. 232 is just a few 10 thou off of 4 1/4. It's a long way to go from a 4-inch bore, which what 352 is. Rich says, in order for me to give them up to 57, I need a bucket list car, and that's a 69 Chevelle. I think that's a lot of people's bucket list car. I don't know if I'd call it a bucket list car, but I sure wouldn't kick it out of my fleet. For me, anyway. It's a messed up music video, Dean. Did I miss something? What did I miss from Dean? I don't know. I have Tony's shirt. Now give me your boots, riffle, and motorbike. Life size one, Rich. Okay. Oh, Lars being a wise ass. That's funny. I can say in an Austrian accent. Nice. Yeah, Buffalo Campo says 427 bore needs to be a 427 block or an aftermarket block. You could do it in, like a Dove block or something. Why in the hell is my camera going blurry on me? What the fuck is this thing doing to us? Focus, you piece of shit. Not really digging the camera going screwy here. 230,000 is definitely be a lot, but could bore a bunch of material and use thick sleeves. You'd almost have to wet sleeve it Actually, there's no almost about it. You definitely have to wet sleeve it. Who's texting me here? Brian's texting me. Oh, nice. Pictures of his satellite. Yeah, jumping alive, Brian. Show off that satellite. Mohawk says, but I'm not a Roman. Dougster says in the Pontiac Realm, the 326, the 455 is the same block, but you can't make a 326, 455, not enough meat in the cylinder. This is true. Heavens Mopar Scott says the Honey Badger's a sweet ride. I have a 49 Chevy Fleetline. I love to rat rod it. Just throw a 318 in it and call it good. That'd be cool. Although if I had a 49 Chevy, even though I am Mopar first, I think I would still put a Chevrolet power plant in it. I tend to like to stay brand loyal with cars. I call it crossbreeding. People call me racist or whatever they want for using that term, but putting a putting a different engine and a different brand of car to me, I just call it crossbreeding. I don't do it. 283 would be a whole lot of fun, or I'll just a run of the mill 350 truck engine. You can get them things dime a dozen. Dougster says, now the Honey Badger's a great cage and it really moves out. That car's got a bunch left in it. Still got front end work to do on it. It could have been faster, but got a little silly on him, and we just decided that next year it's actually getting a custom set of zoomies built for it here coming up this winter, and a new front end put under it. JB says, heck, I'm playing with the 2-inch bore. Damn you, big block people. Ah, come on, JB. I know that bore's bigger than 2 inches and that 2.8. It's not that small. Is it? I couldn't tell you what the bore in a 2.8 is. I don't think I've ever had one apart. Done a few 3.1s, but I never had a 2.8 apart. Rich said that wouldn't be Lars if he wasn't a wise ass. This is true. That's why we love him. Lars is a good dude and a staple of this community. Mohawk says, sorry, Dean, I had the wrong band. Same kind of music, though. Dean says a single cylinder can be both big and a small block because it has finite and infinite bore spacing. Nice. Peckerwood says, time for a change, Dean. Love being banned, Mohawk 62er. Hey, Rapid Transit J made it. Good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Well, we got a bunch of people in here. Only 18 minutes in. We got 18 people in the chat. Glad to have y'all hanging out. Fun doing these lives. I kind of miss doing it. It's just it's been hard with all the shit going on. We're gonna get back at it. Friday Night Lives were always fun doing after John, and I just want to start doing them every week again. We're gonna do our best to keep up with it. Mohawk says Ford always killed me with their 427, 428, and 429. Like what? You couldn't make up your mind. 427 was a very specialized version of the FE, which is also what the 428 is, more of a standard FE. And the 429 was one of the first 385 series big blocks, completely different platform. But I do agree with your thinking, Mohawk. I always found that funny too. Dougster says, when the antique auto parts store closed, I was offered a dive Ford 460 short block, 30 over dish pitch, fresh rebuild with fresh Dove heads for $300. 10 years sat. Guy stiffed the machine shop. Damn, Dougie, you should have bought that. You should have bought that. It's a hell of a deal. Love having 4 user profiles, so I'm going to get multiple subs and multiple channels. Sneaky Pete, you. Peckerwood said, just arguing with a buddy, refitting a T700 behind his Turbo Hydra 700 behind his 454, fitting it behind an LS and his 60 Bel Air. I have built many a 700 R4s that live long, fruitful lives behind big blocks. It takes a little bit of doing, put the right parts in them, and they will hold up. So the question is 2000 installer 2500, how much money do I spend? If you're talking about for the trash truck, JB, I'd go with at least 2500. Bill says 428 Cobra Jet is my favorite. I would have to agree. They are fun engines. JB said, or Rapid Transit says, JB, I have a Jeep XJ that I may be wanting to race with the trash truck in 2026. I'd love to see that happen. Let's start promoting it now. Get the trash talk going. Peckerwood says, depends on how much camshaft he has. Yeah. JB. Lars says, JB, put a stick shift in it, tighten your belt another notch, and don't bite your tongue. And yeah, Aaron says, depending on how much camshaft you have. I do agree with Aaron, but I've seen the truck in action. I would say to go for the 2500 stall, if not, maybe even a little more. Definitely help it come out of the hole. Get that blower blowing. Dean says, hi, Kim, backwards with a backwards K. How the hell did you make that backwards K, Dean? That's funny. Dougster says, I recognize the value, but I'm not a Ford guy. I tried to stick my Ford guy on the deal, but it was way too close to Christmas. Last day was 12/3. Damn it. I would have bought that sumbitch and paid you to store it for me. JB's little shop says, not doing it, Lars. Ain't happening, man. I need to drive it on the street. See, the nice thing about the trash truck's got the 700 R4 in it, if I'm not mistaken, right, JB? Go for a whole bunch of stall and put a manual lock up on it, and it would still be very streetable. You're on the street below stall speed, you throw the switch, have it in lockup. Just don't forget to turn the switch off when you come to a stop. It'll live a long and healthy life like that. Done it many, many times. Peckerwood says, you too old for a man pedal, JB? Jason's garage is in the house. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too, sir. Good to see you, man. How the hell did we go from 18 people in here down to 9 real quick? That's weird. Mohawk says, Dean, green jello or green jelly? If you have the green jello version, you could be rich, right? Dakota says, I'm going to ease on to bed. Y'all have a good one. You do the same, Dakota. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. Everybody's saying good night to Dakota. Oh, shit. Because I'm dyslexic. That's funny. Now Buff's copycat. Dean. I'm getting a little behind on these comments. Yeah, JB said it is 700 R4. That's absolutely what I'd do. I'd go for all the stall you could get. I mean, within reason, 25, 2,800, maybe even 3,000. Like I said, get that blower building a lot of boost to launch. And when you're driving it on the street, you have a manual override for that lockup. Turn it on, keep it from overheating when you're cruising. We'll talk. If you're interested in doing something like that, I'll send you a schematic on how to do it. Super easy. Super easy. Mohawk says, oh crap, Dean went rusky on us. Dang it, Peckerwood. Rabbit says, "What's up with the backwards K's?" Well, you got to remember, Dean's down on the other side of the planet, so he's already backwards. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat, Wendy's in the house saying hi. Good to see you, Wendy. Dougster says it did buy a fresh set of 915 heads and a 60 Bear 63 413 street block, non-industrial for cheap. That's nice. However, I actually prefer the industrial blocks. They're a little heavier, but they're also a whole lot stronger. And I have one. Probably, matter of fact, I picked up a couple parts from Bigfoot's Market this last No Name Nationals. And I'm probably going to turn that into a 483 stroker. It's going to be a fun little build. 4.25 inch bore, bunch of stroke, give me 483 cubic inches. If I remember right, it's a 4150 stroke. Gives you that. It's either 4150 or 4250. Bust Radial, what's happening, Chris? Tony's live. What? Yeah, we're going to try and start doing the lives again. Always had fun doing them. Life, work, and everything else got in the way, and we kind of just fell out of doing them. Miss it. It's fun hanging out with you guys. So here we are. Rich says, I've seen the reverse of Kim's personality. It was called Kim Breaks Things. Hawk says, hi, Chris again. JB says, I'll get it right at some point. Well, that's where all the fun's at, is tinkering and trying things and changing things. But I tend to agree that putting some stall speed, putting a little bit of converter in that thing would get it out of the hole a whole bunch quicker. Be surprised how much ET you could pick up with that. And don't be afraid to have that converter built a little bit loose, because you can utilize that lockup for street use. Super easy on a 700. Busted Radial says, taking a break. Yeah, I've taken a whole lot of breaks. It's past BRG's bedtime. Uh-oh, now Dean says, Buff Del Campo with a backwards K. Hope your Chevy swap is doing okay. Rich says JB's going to turn into a pumpkin. Mohawk saying, hey, Wendy, what the shit is that? Guessing he's talking about Coney shocks. All them strange little whatnots floating around them letters. JB says, I'm all ready. Busted Radio Chris is bedtime. Please, I don't sleep. I can't afford it. Poor YouTuber. I know, right? JB said he's already a pumpkin. There you go, JB. Grab a residential light switch and we'll wire it up to that back lockup solenoid and mount it on the dash. Truth be told, a residential light switch would actually work. Anything that'll close a circuit and carry about 5 amps, 12 volts to do the trick. Mohawk says, how the heck did JB get number one? About 426, 2426 heads, Dougster. Well, is it Halloween, JB? JB says, hey, LP, you know me, I will make it happen. Yes, you will. You're a make it happen kind of guy there, bud. Dougster says, X, they are closed chamber. Yeah, the 915 heads probably about the best set of production big block heads you could get for Mopar. They didn't make too many sets of them. Main Streets in the house. Good to see you, bud. Glad you stopped in, hung out with us. Now we're back up to 20 in here. One-Eyed Cat asked Kim if did Buff get my email and did the video come through? JB's Little Shop says Mohawk needs to worry next year. Give me a couple weeks and I'll call that scamp out. You go get him there. Wish you luck, though. That scamp's pretty badass. It would work and look fancy. Residential switch is hardcore. When I catch JB, you're almost out of my league. Hardened seats, I'd wager. Yeah, those 915 heads ain't gonna have hardened seats from the factory. So if I was you, I would definitely have them installed. It's not as expensive as it used to be either. JB is always number one. Mainstream Mopar says Dougster, and there's a whole shit pot full of potatoes going on there. Oh, you're very welcome, Mohawk. That Scamp is a very, very nice car, in my opinion. Love it. Love everything about that sumbitch. Doug says got a smoking deal instead of 915 heads and gave him the 6% recycled for the 383 engine I gave him. Holy shit. It's going to be a hell of a little 383. Is he going to build a stroker out of it? 383 with a 440 crank in it, give you a real nice low deck. 426 too. That could be a whole lot of fun with a set of worked over 915s on it. Evans Mopar. Scott says I picked up 5,000 stall for the Duster. I think it will be a future upgrade of the built 383, but for now the truck 440 and converter will do. To learn and grow on, I get a feel for the car first. Yeah, that's a good it's a real good strategy there, Scott. You need a whole lot of motor to utilize a 5,000 stall converter. Yeah, Dennis Twisted Mopar. Good to see you, by the way. Depends on the bore. Yep, exactly. Well, standard bore for 4250, 383 with a 440 crank in it would give you 426. I may just do that too with my 413. Might just punch it to 4250 and make a 426, but really kind of like to do a little stroker out of it. 483 is pretty achievable. And stick with a 4.25-inch bore. Don't have to hog it clear out. Buffdale Campbell says, in One Eyed Cat, we have 2 emails with a 0 bytes video attached. So it sounds like he's getting the emails, but the videos aren't going over. Might be better, Don, to drop those videos into a Google Drive or something and then send him the link. One of the nice things about having my own server, it's real easy to share videos of any size or any files for that matter. JB says, heck, Heavens Mopar was scared to drive the trash truck. Why? You can't kill that thing. Mohawk says, hey again, Dennis. Looks like we're all caught up with the comments. I'm going to show you guys a picture of the trophy that we got for the rat rod. Oh, I got people message me on Facebook. Oh yeah, that's real nice, Scott. That would be a cool rat rod. Super friggin' cool rat rod. You know what I see? 4BT Cummins would be way cool in that. Way cool. Yeah. 47 Chevy, do a 4BT Cummins in it. 4-cylinder Cummins. That long nose, hell, you could put a 6BT, put a 12 valve in it. Those things are actually, if you look in the right places, coming down in price. You can find a decent running 12 valve pretty inexpensive anymore. I'm going to do the John Wilburn here. Show off our. Come on, camera. Focus. There we go. Very first trophy for the old rat rod, for the old honey badger. First of many, is what my wife said. One-eyed cat says, Buff, I sent it from my phone. Don't know. Dennis says, I don't know nothing about 383, 440 crank. Well, it'd be kind of the same thing, Dennis, as a 451 stroker, except you're doing it in a 383 block rather than a 400 block. 3750 stroke with a 4 1/4 inch bore for 4280. Take a 383, punch at 30, give you 4280. Tell you what that'd give us here real quick. That would net 431.6 cubic inches. Dean Stevenson says John Wilburn is sending porn. I hope not. Dennis says car prices are starting to come down. I've been noticing that, like on Marketplace, Craigslist, and places like that here over the last month or two. Dougster says 4BT is like Frank's Red Hot sauce. Put that shit on everything. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're fun little engines. Doesn't take shit to make them run, and you can fit them in anything. Spiffy. Mopar Scott says domed. JB says don't be speaking of the Wilburn. He can't even put out a dang flyer. The fuck? Mohawk says there was a 12 valve and an old Dodge D150 at Six Smokies. I think he ran the low sevens or high sixes. I absolutely believe it. Dennis says what I ran in my old car. Oh, that's right. That was a 383 stroke, wasn't it? I forgot about that. For whatever reason, I thought that was a 451. My bad. No, I do remember that now. Sorry. Had my head up my ass there for a minute. JB says just giving people crap. Don't worry. Looking forward to next year. Let's see how it turns out. Bigger, better, faster, louder is what I hope to see. There's actually a real good chance my buddy, Underdog Towing, his name's Ethan, the guy that owns the tow truck that helps us load the cars on the trailer. He made a mention about getting a channel going and throwing something together and maybe coming out to No Name with us next year. So that'd be a whole bunch of fun. So if we happen to see an Underdog Towing channel pop up here in the near future, I'll be helping him get that built, and we'd appreciate the support. And he's got all kinds of cool shit. I used to dirt track race with him years ago. Cool dude. Dougster Wolverine Garage. So make common parts with the 6BT. They're great. Had a 4BT with 1.5 million miles on it before I bought it. Drove great. Wouldn't know it had that many miles. Typical of a early Cummins. Mohawk says, "Who sends stuff to me, Dean?" JB's trash truck will be big block. Yeah, I've kicked around the idea of putting together a big block S10. Always wanted one. Done a lot of 383 strokers, 350s, other small blocks and S10s through the years, but I've got a couple of big blocks and I wouldn't mind doing one. Boy, S10s are kind of bringing a bunch of money for kind of clapped out shit these days. I just want a fucking roller shell. Rapid Transit Jay says, got to get the call outs going before the orange paper number pops up. I agree. I also think that's really cool what you did on Facebook, Jay, with the public No Name Nationals fan page. I think that might actually help drag in some people. Anything I can do to help with that, you just holler, let me know. I'll do what I can. Wolverine says underdog. Yeah, you guys might have seen the short that I put out right before we came to No Name with doing the burnout on the rollback. That was Ethan's underdog towing rollback. The little trash truck will always have a 2.8. What's wrong with that? That little 2.8 has not failed to impress. It's come a long way. Like John said earlier, that truck gets faster every year. Dennis says, I'm going back to small block now. Small blocks are less expensive to build. Ginger's in the house. Good to see you. Keeping John in check. He nursing his knee, I'll bet. That sucks. His knee's still bugging him. Needs to get some bitch healed up. JB says, it's fun for me. Hell, I beat a 454. That says a lot. It is very fun taking out big engines. People that think they're fast with little ones. Used to have a slant 6 and a dart similar to Shane's Cookie Monster. I used to embarrass a few people with that thing. No, the car did not compare to the Cookie Monster. Don't take that the wrong way. It was the same kind of car as what the Cookie Monster is. Cookie Monster would have choked on that thing and shat out its exhaust. Transit Jay says, yeah, I'm hoping so. I see it working, public facing page like that. Just have to make sure we keep riffraff out. Only I've found out through the years, public pages, sometimes you'll get a lot of bullshit in them, but you good moderators and keep the riffraff out, and it'll be a hell of a page, hell of a group. Evans Mopar Scott says, hey Jay, I still have that unfilled call out with Dust Devil I need to bring to fruition. Yes, you do. Put it on the tube, Scott. Yes, put it on the tube. 2026 will be the year. Support your local hooker. Call their dog towing. Mohawk 62. My friend just sold a 7-second S10 street truck, small block in great shape for $4,000. Nice. I want one that's already done, though. I like to build them. Dougster says, let's hook up with Underdog Towing. Dougster's always got the cool slogans. Evans Mopar Scott says, hello, Ginger. It's great to meet you at the No Name Nationals. I agree with Scott. Twist Mopar says, I just left Dust Devil Shop. Bunch of NNN guys there. That's what I keep hearing. I need to fire up the camera and jump in here and show us what the hell they're up to. They got phones. Mohawk says, like guy years ago with camel. Camel towing. There you go. JB says it cracked me up when I pulled up next to Tony. He said, "Damn TBT, the ground. So those sound so fucking good." Yeah, the damn thing did sound good. Some bitch and little trucks come a long way. I really like it. I meant that, JB. That damn thing sounds good. Runs good too. Put some converter in it, it's going to run even better. Scott says, "Oops, I missed. You just left." So how's that charger coming, Scott? Making some progress on it yet? Are you still doing housework? I remember we talked a little bit about that at No Name. You said you were doing a bunch of housework. Hope you're getting all that caught up. Get back on the charger soon. Really need to start working on mine too. One of my subscribers, US 191, lives somewhat local to me, a couple hours away. We're doing one last car show of the year. It's uptown from us tomorrow. We're taking Honey Badger in my truck. And he'd reached out to RC Industry, you know, RC Rick. He does the No Name Nationals beers, like the bottle you see behind us. That's 2024 version. Good beer too, by the way. He sent one home for me, with me for Jeff from US 191. And I'm meeting up with him tomorrow. He's coming to the car show in his 1971 Super Bee 440 6-pack car. Looking forward to seeing that car. I love everything about the 71 Charger, as you guys all know. Someday, mine might be in that condition. Not quite as bad off as Scott's, but it's she's rough. You guys have seen it on the channel. JB says if Scott can find all the stolen parts, he might get it done. Yeah, I got a Kirby for every motherfucker out there that wants to steal parts from a guy like Scott. You win the internet tonight, John, for that one. I got your flyer right here in my pants, JB. 2026 will be awesome. I tend to agree, Mr. Wilburn. I tend to agree. You put on a great show, great event. I don't know how the hell you do it, but you do it and you do it well. Appreciate everything you do. Mohawk. Dang, John. So who's going to win that No Name Nationals hat from Mr. Cope's premiere? Got all the pieces to put it together, ready and waiting for a winner. I'll send it out first thing Monday morning. Once I get a winner. Once John gets a winner and tells me who it is. I'd halfway be willing to bet whoever wins it, I've probably already got the shipping information for them. You guys have been real good supporters of Gunslinger Graphics, and I appreciate every bit of it. And now JB was saying he's wanting some hoodies. It is getting to be hoodie weather, so we'll definitely get some hoodies put together for JB. You just want like one for yourself and one for Lars, JB, or you wanting some, or don't matter. You know, just let me know what you want. I'll go ahead and put them up on the website too, and maybe we could sell a few for you. Rabbit Trans J says there's a blue 71 Charger RT 6-pack car by my house when I was a kid. License plate was 6GU NRT. Always thought that was clever. Yeah, 6-gun RT. I like it. I do like it. John says he was on a pizza run. Shut up, John. You're making me hungry. John needs to get the dang flyer out. Pizza King Wilburn. Well, he's a 904 King, so maybe he should be Pizza King too. Hawk says, I think we need to extend or make Thursday an official day for the event. It kind of is for us diehard guys. I mean, I get why the track don't go hot. It's a logistics thing and track personnel thing and everything. That's fine. Shit, I was there on Tuesday this year. I'm usually there on Wednesday. All of us diehard guys, we're there by Thursday morning at the very latest, and we're hanging out and doing what us no-name community people do. So in a way, Thursday kind of is an official day. And then we headed out to Lambert's in the evening and come back to the track and hang out some more. It's just a great thing. Evans Mopar Scott says, I'm building a fence and a gate tomorrow after I get Stevens Challenger tomorrow morning out of the field. Then screw in rocker and floor pan so I can push the Charger out of the garage. John says, JB, we have to set the 2026 date. Holly moved their stuff a little. I'll have it pinned down soon. JB says, screw Lars, I'll be on the advertising. I think the community is going to come together this year as a real force. And we're all going to be doing some advertising for the No Name Nationals. JB, I have a little Rabbit Transit J says, JB, I have a little Jeep XJ that would be fun for the race for the trash truck. Make a video, put it out there. Let's make it happen. We need to get these call outs rolling real, early on. Start making a bunch of noise in other places, YouTube, Facebook. Much as I, hate the Chinese platform, TikTok, gets a whole lot of views. Start pimping No Name Nationals everywhere. John says, how about old Rich hiding from our offer to buy the 57, right? Well, he was in here earlier and we were talking about it a little bit and he didn't really say much. He was conversing with us, but he just kind of blew off the questions about the 57. JB has been asked a few times about hoodies. Perfect. Super easy to make, same design. I'll get them up in the next couple of days. I'll get them available on the website. I need to get a stock of hoodies. I've got a few blanks in stock, but it's that time of year to stock up on them. But that's no big deal. Everything's a day or two out at most. If you want to have a few on hand, that's fine too. I'll sell them to you direct, but we'll offer them on the site too. Remember, you get out of every sale on the site, you get $5 each. Then the trunk floor and taillight panel on Stevens Challenger. Then I work on the Duster till it's finished. Lots of winter projects. Stay tuned. I will get to play again. Looking forward to it, Scott. Looking forward to it. When Cat says Mohawk has a point. We arrive later on Wednesday regardless. Yeah. Exactly. My goal is always to be there, no later than late morning Wednesday. I kind of like it was a little more relaxed for us this year. We left a little earlier, and we were in town Tuesday evening. Basically, got to the room and had something to eat and crashed, and on with everything on Wednesday. It was just a little more relaxed, a little less rushed. Let's see. Mohawk has a point where Dougster says, my favorite pizza place, closest restaurant to me is 2 hours away in LaPorte, Indiana. But it's Aurelio's. I keep hearing about this Aurelio's pizza, and boy, I want some. I like good pizza. Keep hearing you and Cope talking about fucking Aurelio's. It's got to be the best damn pizza there is. Peckerwood says, if he was smart, John, he would sell and buy something running and driving. I agree. JB says, Rich is done for tonight, sir. John says, if he was smart, he'd sell it and pay off that Jeep. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Debt is dumb, cash is king. JB says, come and get me. Rapid Jason, yes, I agree. Kevin Smolpar Scott says, Steven just driving is picking up the Challenger in the spring. That's cool. True, we get there Tuesday morning, had fun just meeting up with everyone. It seems to go too fast. You know, it's cool. This year, 2025, Tony's Hot Rod Garage was the first to register, and we were the first on the property in Sykeston. Our aim is to do it again next year. Dougster says, Lars wanted to know if my loose lugs were JB's fault. Oh, shit. Yeah, what a nightmare and what a bullet you dodged, Dougster. I'm glad that all worked out and John and Tim were able to get you helped out and get you back together and home safe. That could have been a real fucking mess for you in short order. JB says, I'm honestly thinking about taking 2 weeks off. If John will get the flyers done, I will go down and put them out. We'll see. That would be cool. That would be super cool of you, JB. Wendy says, I bought a bigger cooker to make mac and cheese for next year for the picnic. Yeah, well, I bought myself a 1,000 square inch Pit Boss smoker for my birthday. I did a 16-pound brisket on that son of a bitch. That was good. Wilburn says, Dougster, your tire shop failed you on that. Absolutely. I would go in there and stomp on somebody's balls. Dang it, Doug. LP Large says, we'll be arriving in Sykeston on Tuesday next year, operating on 0 hours of sleep. Wednesday kicks my ass. Right? Right? Yeah, I want to say thank you to Lars, too, for everything you do for that event. You're a huge help to John. I'm sure he expresses his gratitude, but I'll give a little bit for him, too. Dougster Wolverine Garage says, when you come to pick up Patrick's for your car body, we'll definitely meet. I'm buying. Yeah, we need to do that. It sucks the winter's just damn harsh up that way because wintertime would be the perfect time for me to make that trip, except for the shitty weather. I spent enough time in the Midwest to know that if I can avoid it, I don't want to drive in it after about November. Indecisive Tim is in the house. Good to see you, brother. I arrived Tuesday evening as well. We pulled into the track Wednesday morning. Yes. I remember talking to you about that. It was awesome. We had a really neat setup this year. You know, Jason and I set up. We had our big trailer and our 2 pop-ups. And, you know, we had Tim right next to us with his big trailer and his bigger pop-up. And we had room for John and Mr. Haney. It was just a nice little setup that we had. I really enjoyed the hell out of it. I'd like to do it again that way next year. Good people, good company, good conversation, everything about it just kicked ass. Rabbit trying to Jason, but I am still number one. Yeah, you are still number one. Jason's number two. We got it. That's all right. I'm number six and number seven. JB says, dang you, Tony. Why dang me? What the hell did I do? Mohawk says, Doug, you should try Happy Joe's Pizza, home of the original Canadian bacon and sauerkraut pizza, my favorite. That actually sounds like it could be all right. Never thought of putting sauerkraut on a pizza, but I do like it on hot dogs. JB says, I told you people to watch out for those loose lug nuts. John says, how about it, chat? We should reshuffle all of the car numbers next year. How about I just soon keep my number 6 and number 7? Hell, it doesn't matter. It's all fun. I just like keep the number because I just leave it on the car, leave it on the truck. Rapid Transit Jay says you should, Lars. Dougster says, hell, Tony, the wheel that replaced the Chowder one is better looking, right? John says, here's what's important. JB still saying, watch out for the pit boss. We've had a few come back because they catch on fire. Really? This fucking mosquito has been buzzing around in here since John Wilburn started his life, and I cannot catch the motherfucker. It's starting to get under my skin. Heavens Mopar Scott says, sure, John, maybe I'll get Jay's number. Jay keeps number 1, and Lars keeps Wags from cutting in the line for the group photo. After that, it's all good, right? You know what's funny is I'm number 6 and number 7, and we always end up at the end of the group photo, and fuck, I'm good with that. Doesn't matter. Just being part of it, period, is what matters to me. Doesn't matter where you're at in the group. We're all part of the same group. Rabbit Transit Jay says, you absolutely will not, Scott. Yeah, he's pretty proud of that number, and I don't blame him. Bad Attitude says, look at the mug on that, dude. What is happening, Blake? Good to see you, man. Dougster says, Tony's pit was awesome. Well, thank you, Doug. We tried. We tried, and I think it worked out real good. We enjoyed everything about it. We had the grill set up. We had all the shade we needed. A little bit cooler, it wouldn't have broke our hearts, but we weren't going to be able to change that no matter how we set up. Scott says, had to rattle your cage, Jay. Dougster says, I like bacon and sauerkraut. I like bacon. I like sauerkraut. Yeah, absolutely. I love bacon. I do like a good kraut dog. JB says, I got to run work tomorrow. Oh, gosh, dang it. All right. Be that way. Run out on us. Good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out. We'll talk about them hoodies. Give me a holler. I'll be at a car show most of the day tomorrow, but Sunday or anytime after, shoot me a text, whatever. Let me know how many hoodies and what sizes you'll want. We'll get you hooked up. One-eyed cat says, all but mine. Mohawk says, what? Work? That's a 4-letter word, JB. I agree. Indecisive Tim says, for sure, Tony, definitely want to do it again. Yes. If somehow you manage to beat me there next year, you're the one in charge of keeping everything in line till we get there. And if I beat you there, I'll do the same. Dougster says, I think most want to keep their number. I like my numbers, mostly because they're sequential. You know, I had the first year I came with a car, and it was the second no name. I got the number 6. And then by the third year, we brought the second car and everything lined out, and I got the sequential number 7. It's just cool. I like it. I've already said I'll continue to register the honey badger whether or not it comes, just so it can keep its number. Definitely do it again. Oh, I lost my spot here, damn it. JB says, well, let's just say I don't think Shane will drive up to take pictures in an orderly fashion. He's an ass. To be sure, and all kidding aside, everybody keeps their number. Rabbit Transit J says, I take pride in being the first to register for No Name Nationals. That is something to be proud of. Ask me how I know. I might not have been the first to register for the first, but I was the first this last year, and it felt pretty good. JB, we will enforce it on him. You can count on that. He was in the same group as you, though. So something about Shane, John. He's a piece of. Next year, 81 to 100 comes up first. People will rotate back to the front. LP says, I know when Indecisive Tim gets that truck sorted out, he'll be a major threat in the bracket race. Oh, there is no doubt about that. Tim is a damn good racer. Damn good racer. You know, I want to throw a shout out to Tim, Indecisive Garage. That very last run I made Saturday afternoon in the truck was a new personal best for me in the truck, and Tim's the one that filmed it. And as you see at the end of the video that's on my channel, that very last run, that new personal best was filmed by Tim at Indecisive Garage. Thank you. Mohawk says, that's okay. The scamp and I will be at the back of the line for the photo, but that's the only time we'll be at the back. Did I finally get this little prick? I think I finally got this little prick. Yep. He's dead. JB's little shop. I'll never forget the first time I met Tony. That was great. I'm out. Have a great night, people. Good night, JB. Don't have too much fun at work tomorrow. We're gonna be hanging out at the car show. Doug, she says, I've been in Tim's areas before. That's pretty country, y'all. John says, I've always liked JB, and my opinion has never changed. I agree with that statement. This is One-Eyed Cat says, night, my brother, JB's little shop. You know what? I got to look at the calendar. I lied to y'all. We will unfortunately not be live next Friday night because a very good friend of mine is getting married, and we will be at a wedding reception next Friday, the 24th. Maybe we'll do a live on Thursday. Maybe we'll do one on Saturday. We'll see. Just thought of that because I killed a mosquito with the wedding invitation. Yeah, next Friday is the 24th. So, yeah, I will not be live on Friday. Good one, Mohawk. Good one. So, who in here is kicking around the idea of trying to put together a Triple Crown car? I know Rapid Transit Jay was talking about doing one. Who else is wanting to do a Triple Crown car for next year? Lars says I could see Tony giving a legendary wedding speech. I'm just going to stay off the mic and partake in the beer drinking. Dougster says, woohoo, free food and drinks. Tony's going to cut a rug with Mrs. Yep. Except I can't dance for shit. Never was my gig. So yeah, next Friday night, the wedding. Maybe we'll do a live on Saturday. I know Dust Devil Brian's doing Saturday live, so I don't want to step on him. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Maybe we'll just do one a different day. I do, like I say, I do enjoy doing these lives, and it's good. It is, John always says it too, and it's just it's a fun way to unwind the week, and hang out with friends. Rabbit says I'm planning on a Magnum powered XJ. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. That's the one you're gonna whoop up on the little trash truck with. Yeah, that Triple Crown class, I really enjoyed watching it. Let's see if I can. I don't know. See what I can come up with. If I do build a car, put a car together for it, it's definitely going to be a Mopar. So, I like to be an A body. Dougster says, up in my area, we have a large Polish population. Polish wedding is off the hook. Big ones. We will hire polka bands. It's a damn good time. Oh man, I can just bet. So, what's everybody else into this weekend? Hopefully, not a whole lot of working. Since JB's got to go be the party pooper and go to work tomorrow. For those of you that haven't seen them, I'm going to go ahead and crack open the website here. Show off a little bit of something. Ah, shit, what'd I do? Okay. Thought I done screwed up my stream there for a second. Let's check out. Share screen here. Those of you that haven't seen it yet, these are JB's little shop shirts. There's his logo on the front that we did for him. Watch out for them loose lug nuts, or you're going to end up with a bunch of busted glass just like that. Those shirts are available now, either directly from JB, because he did buy a bunch for stock, or off of the website. And very soon, we'll be offering hoodies as well. Mohawk says, I keep missing all these lives. I do Rob's on Tuesday, Tech Talk on Wednesday, Gen X on Thursday early, and John on Friday. Yeah, Wednesdays are rough. I try real hard to get in the Tech Talk lives with Shane and Dallas. I enjoy hanging out with them. But most of the time, unfortunately, here lately, I'm still out in the shop working. By the time I get in the house and get settled down, the damn lives are over. Dougster's been fighting an infection in my left shin since Tuesday, but the antibiotics are working their magic and we're making strides forward. That is good to hear. Infection is no good. Says I have one of those. Guessing you're talking about the JB's little shop shirt. I thought that logo on the front that we come up with for him turned out pretty darn good myself. I thought it was pretty cool. Remember, friends, Dougster on Mondays. Yeah, every once in a while I manage to catch your lives, Doug. They're a lot of fun. A lot of fun. This one-eyed cat said I got one at No Name Nationals. Awesome. Devil says, I'm wanting to have that car at No Name next year. Badass. So who is doing Sunday? I don't know who in our community is doing lives on Sunday. I know the other Tony does his Sunday night lives, but I don't watch them. Incisive says, I work every day, but I pick my own hours with a set amount. I think I average 60 hours a week. You are a hard working man, Tim. Speaking of working hard, did you guys make any headway on your buddy's 6'7"? Rapid Transit Jay says was originally planning on stuffing the 360 Magnum in the duster. Jason then reminded me I have my dad's XJ in the backyard after he passed. He would really dig the idea of a little street Jeep. That's cool. That's even cooler, actually, that it was your dad's. Kind of a tribute build. And that's kind of why I'd really like to find 74 Monaco. Not so much to build a Blues Brothers car out of, but because my dad had one. I'd like to do a tribute car, and I'd put it together just the way he had his. And you know what? B5 blue looks pretty damn good on a Monaco. Color his was. They laid B5 blue over the top of the old black and white. And he'd probably play a lot of hell finding them today, but I'd sure like to try. He had the old thick spoke 15x7 appliance wire wheels. If anybody remembers those, that's what he had on that car. That's a bummer, Tim. That's a real stumper. Dougster says, "Little street Jeep, you don't know what I got." That's cool. What else have we got? Yeah, I'll be getting to work here pretty quick on a new hat design for Mr. Cope for CRT, the Valve Body King of Chicago. That's going to be a cool one to stay tuned for. What else have we done new since last time I did any lives and talked about it? Mohawk says my dad was a gearhead. He never owned a four-door car. Ain't nothing wrong with four doors. Nothing wrong with four-door sedans. I like a B body. Car sounds like a gorgeous car in B5. Yeah, it really was. I mean, it, like I said earlier on, I was ripe old age, about 10 years old when he wrecked it, and I can still remember that sumbitch. Love that car. That car is why I fell in love with Mopar. 4,600 pounds of 440 powered brute. ASO is in the house. Wake up. We're awake. We are indeed awake. And everybody knows, I don't know if Shane pushes them much, but we did the Slant Daily Garage, the Cookie Monster shirts that are also available on the website. Jay says, name it though, either XXXJ or Vern after Dad. That's cool. Everybody's saying hi to Auto Salvage. I'm awake and walking like a duck. Well, as long as you ain't quacking like a duck, you'll be all right. Mohawk says my Scamp came new in B5 blue, slant 6 and 3 on the tree. It still has the clutch pedal under the carpet. That's cool. Let's not forget. Is that you, Tim, trying to get in? Had issues before with no video, so I want to make sure that's actually you before I open it up. Okay.
I can't figure out how to turn my.
Okay. Heard your voice there for a minute.
Yeah, I'm here. I just can't figure out how to turn the camera on.
You on a computer or your phone?
I'm on the laptop.
You're on a laptop. You might have to give permissions to the internet browser. A lot of the time when you come into StreamYard, you should have got a pop-up that asked for permissions for the browser.
Didn't see that.
Do you see a gear icon with settings in the StreamYard? See your gear icon with your settings. You might be able to choose your camera for that. Or at the bottom of the page, you'll see the camera too. You should see the microphone, the camera, and a few other icons.
For some reason, it's double. When you talk and I talk, it's double dipping.
What's going on, Brian?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Yeah, we're just hanging out. I'm trying to help Tim get his camera to work.
It's Ryan.
What's happening, Ryan? I see you guys finally got the satellite to its rightful home.
They're trying to get Ryan to flash the camera.
Oh, shit. Are you going live? Are you doing live tomorrow, Brian?
Thinking about it. I might be doing one from here because I think William's going to be here tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You gotta show them that.
What do we got?
I need an actual chair instead of this little stool I'm sitting on.
That would probably be more comfortable.
Oh, I don't care about being comfortable. Ugh. Oh, yeah, that'll work. I have to readjust the laptop camera.
I see Tim. Tim looks like he's I think he's gotta give permissions to his browser. Look up in the upper left side of your browser, Tim. There might be an icon up there that you gotta click. Oh, you got something going on now.
See if I can block that light.
Just turn the camera down a little. There you go. Looks like you got them high bay lights like I got in my shop, Brian.
Yeah, I love these things.
They are bright.
It just sucks when you're going straight up on them. I need one right here. Oh, I don't have it clicked on comments. Anybody say anything to me? Probably not. Nobody likes it.
Yeah, we got ASO saying hi to Dust Devil. Got Mohawk saying hi to Brian and Ryan. Uh-oh, we lost Tim. I think he's having technical difficulties with his computer. Doesn't want to play nice with him.
Yeah, Dennis saying he just got home. Yeah, he was out here.
Yep, Dennis was saying he just got home a little bit ago. And Dean Stevenson says RB is the perfect initials. I'm guessing he's pointing that at Mr. Ryan Barsness back there. That is cool. I never really thought of it that way, but that's a hell of a good point.
That is a good point.
So what are you guys up to tonight? Just hanging out, chewing the shit?
Yeah, just sitting here relaxing, looking at this car.
Yeah.
Plotting getting it to No Name next year.
Are you gonna what's your plan with it? You're gonna stick more street with that car, right?
I think so, but I'm still putting a big block in it. And I'm contemplating a tunnel ram still. So, you know.
I'd go for broke. That's kind of what I want to do with the Charger. I want to take that 413 block I've got, unless I can find me a good 400 block.
Well, I was going to say,
build a big stroker, and it'll be mild because it can be mild and make a bunch of power and have all the street manners in the world. You know, that car it's not going to be a race car. Yeah, I'll put it on the track, but it's a street.
That's what I plan on.
Yeah. You
but I plan on driving this down to Sykeston, but you know, I'm only 2.5 hours away, so it's a little different.
Right.
Basically, the car right now, talking to somebody else in the background. But what I'm saying is, if I can get that ready for No Name, You should be able to get your Charger ready for No Name next year.
Shit.
Well, you got to do the roof on yours, don't you?
Yeah.
Get
I
yours
do.
ready for 2027 because I'm trying to talk Ryan into bringing his orange one out. Quick!
Hey, he got it sorted
Get
out.
off my car.
What was wrong, Tim? Was it a permission thing? Now we can see him, but we can't hear him.
No, I somehow I
Oh,
had
there-
to turn the camera on. I didn't know
There
it.
you go.
Yeah, we had another guest here. He's hiding though. He's hiding behind me now.
Oh. Yeah, you're not me.
Is that Jed?
Yeah.
I see Jed. Hey, Jed, what's happening, brother?
Tony,
Why you hiding?
I'm not. Ryan's just that big of a dude.
I'm that
Just
fat.
got that big fat sumbitch blocking your view.
Yeah. Oh, you got that one, Tony, too? He's got me that one.
Yeah. So looking at my Hot Wheels collection I got on the wall right here behind the computer.
Tony, I'll bring you an 8 3/4 for your car next year.
I got to get that.
Do you have one for a fuselage car?
Yeah, I'll have to look and double check, but I should have a 71.
Yeah. If you have one, save it for me. If you want me to pay you for it, just holler at me and I'll get you paid for it. I only need the housing. That shit, I've got 4 chunks I can build.
You got this in the phone? Well,
Got a complete. You
Tony,
want to
can you hear
sell?
me now?
I'll buy that too.
Need to check what I have.
Huh?
My dad, Jackson.
Oh.
3D Rich is here. There should be a setting on StreamYard, Tim, about preventing echo. There should be an echo cancellation setting that's going to solve what you're trying to get solved.
Well, it sounded like he had you still have the YouTube browser open? I guess
That
it's
could be too.
not that
That
bad.
could be too. If you've got the YouTube browser open, that'll cause the echo.
What if this thing actually like unstuck itself?
I still.
Okay, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, just close the YouTube browser or mute it.
Yeah, I've got mine open but muted.
Yeah, that's what I've got the big screen. That's how I do it. I keep the browser open, my StreamYard open, all my audio controls and camera controls open. It's kind of nice having a 43-inch 4K monitor.
I need a bigger TV here. I've only got a 32-inch TV here. I need a bigger one.
Mohawk says he needs gear set for his 8 3/4. What gear set are you looking for? I have several.
Hey, Tony, you need a roof skin for that 71?
I do, but I've already got a parts car sort of bought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're telling me about that.
That one from Patrick, right?
Yeah, but I haven't talked to Patrick. I need to make sure he's still got it. I was actually hoping he was going to be at No Name this year.
Well, if he doesn't have something, we might. So,
Okay, well, anything 71 Charger that you have, Ryan, let me know before you do anything with any of it.
yeah.
Because if I can't, if I don't already have something lined up, I will certainly take it from you.
Yeah, we can work something out for sure.
I need the corner. I need the left side rear corner. The little pot metal cap
Yeah.
that goes on the corner. I need for the left rear.
Deals.
I probably have one. Yeah.
I actually thought you had some on eBay at one point. Let's see. Mohawk would like to get a 355 or 373. I think I have both of those in used gear sets, Mohawk. What case do you have? Or are you wanting a full chunk? Because I have those too.
So I think I have all my problems solved here finally.
Yeah, your audio sounds good. Your video looks good. Cool.
All right. So to answer your question, my buddy's truck is still down. He replaced the charged air cooler, and now he's telling me that when he steps on a gas, it's going to 40 psi. But the thing of it is what it's doing is it's pegging his gauge. It's probably going beyond 40 psi on the turbo.
It's getting
And
that much boost out of it.
It's getting that much boost. And from what I'm reading is that either the mass airflow sensor or the wastegate is stuck. At some point, somebody said that we need to change the turbo. And I'm having a hard time believing that a turbo makes boost no matter what. Something else has to tell it how much boost.
No, I wouldn't condemn the turbo just yet. I would look at, like you say, the mass airflow sensor for one, boost pressure sensor for another, and potentially the actuator, but not the whole turbo. That's a VGT turbo. It's got the actuator on it, and you can change that separate from the turbo for about a third the price of the whole turbo.
But the actuator is what actuates the VGT portion of it, correct?
Correct. And controls the boost. That's how it
does control the boost. Right, but it's I think that part of it is working because on idle and on low pull without being under load, it's only making 5 to 8 pounds of boost. It's when he gets under, when he gets into the gas is when it maxes out. So it's like the VGT is working, but it's either the mass airflow is not telling it it's getting enough air, or it's the wastegate not opening up, not bleeding off.
Right.
Because it's either on or off on that VGT, right? There's no in between.
There's
that a variable?
It's pulse width modulated. It's everything in between. That's the beauty of a VGT. It's constantly variable, but it's controlled by the ECM. It does what it's told to do by other parameters. I mean, there could even be a flaw in the tune causing this.
Well, see, all this happened after he did this. After he did this delete.
What does he have on it for? What tuner does he have on it?
I can't answer that. I do not know.
I
do not.
If he's not getting any engine codes out of it, that thing might have a super aggressive tune on it.
There's two codes. There's a P 003A and 2498, I think, or 2598. They're both turbo related.
Yeah, P003A is a boost control position has exceeded its learning limit or is otherwise outside of normal range. What was the other one? P what?
259 or 2598, I think it was. Or 258. 2598, yeah.
2598. Turbocharger boost or the boost control position sensor, specifically that the performance is stuck low, often points to C's turbo actuator. He may have an actuator problem, but I would also look. I would talk to the tuner, whoever wrote the tune or whatever tuner is in it, and for what he's doing with that truck, How much weight does he pull with it, Tim?
Hey, Tony,
He's maxed out.
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna hang out with my company. So I'll talk to you later.
All right,
Okay.
Brian.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
See you, Brian.
See you later.
Yeah, it's he hauls cars, 3 cars at a time, pickup. So he's putting, he's maxed out on his weight. He's pulling 20,000 on every load.
Yeah, I would still say, a plus 50 is probably all the more I'd go with a tune on that, with that Ford, and it'll pull just fine. I mean, hell, we pulled 2 cars to Sykeston with that 450, and that thing's stock, and it didn't give a shit.
Well, he's always had it stock. He never turned it up or nothing. I mean, that thing always worked fine. He didn't do it for
they're
power.
stout. They're super stout. That's what I mean. A plus 30 or a plus 50, eco tune is all he really needs. I just wonder if when he had that thing deleted, when whoever tuned it, if they didn't put some big power tune in the thing.
So do you unplug the throttle control valve or something like that when you do the delete?
When you do the delete, yes, you do unplug the throttle valve.
The throttle valve. Because I keep reading where people are plugging it back in and they're fixing this problem.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you've really got nothing to lose to plug it back in, because part of the emissions delete is actually disabling its function, and it just stays open all the time. That's why a lot of guys either unplug it or take them out and put it, just you take it out and they make a little adapter that goes in its place. That's what you do a lot of the time with the Cummins and the Fords. But that as part of the delete, when those trucks are deleted, it disables that throttle valve. But depending on the tune and how it's been tuned, if it's looking for a parameter, if it's looking to see it there and it's not, it could throw it for a loop. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt to plug it in. It ain't gonna operate. It's not.
So where is it?
right at the top of the intake manifold. If you're looking at the front of the motor, okay, where you got the big black plenum on top, and then your piping comes out this way, and you had your EGR tube that came in, but that's gone now. Right there, that throat where the intake tube goes, that's where that throttle valve is, and it comes up from underneath. I believe on the Ford, it's a 5-wire flat connector that plugs in.
Okay.
It comes upward like this from underneath of it, and it'll be if you're looking at the truck, it'll be on the left side of that throttle valve coming up is where it plugs in. And it's a wire, so wide connector.
Well, he put the new charged air cooler on there, and when he fired it up, he didn't even get it out of the yard. He raised, gassed on it right there, and it went right to 40 psi, and within a minute it blew the water out again. And somebody said that his turbo is overcharging, and he ruined his brand new charged air cooler.
Well, if it's over, it is possible. If if you put too much pressure, and especially back pressure to it, anything can burst. I've never seen one burst from over boosting, but
that's what I can't figure out is I mean, if it runs 30 to 35 psi normally on the high side,
it's not going to burst at 40 unless it was defective to start with.
Right. But I think his gauge is pegged at 40. So is he making 40 or is he making more than 40? I don't think we know that answer.
Yeah. You don't. You don't unless you put a higher pressure mechanical gauge on it, or or depending on the sensor's capability in the truck, you might be able to electronically read it. I don't know what those max out off the top of my head what they'll actually read. The factory sensor.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either, but I did.
It'd be worth
I
putting
did.
a scan tool on it, or depending on what tuner he's got, may be capable of showing him the data as well.
Yeah, I don't. I have to. I asked him about the tuner, and he said he didn't know, and then that's what doesn't make sense. I would know what is on my equipment.
Yeah, me too. And I'm a big proponent of the Easy Link tuner. It's a little dongle. Thing's about 4 inches long. It just plugs into the OBD2 port, and then you interface it with your cell phone or a tablet via Bluetooth or wireless. They're a little on the pricey side, but once you own it, you own it. The nice thing about them is you can go from truck to truck with them. You just buy a second license for it, or third or fourth,
gotcha.
or whatever. But it gives you a lot of data that you can get right on your phone. I can actually show you the app, and those are the tuners that I really like, because you can do so much with them, and you tune with them. You get the tunes, and it's not going to let me do anything here because I don't have the Easy Link in a vehicle, but it gives you a dashboard on the phone. The app is called Auto Agent, but it's a super, super handy tool, not only for tuning, but for getting your data, for communicating with your tuner, whoever, wrote the tunes and stuff. They're just they're usually, the hell is the Easy Link in a set of tunes, I think. That website I told you about.
I'm here. I'm just looking for my power cord because my computer's going to die.
Yeah, I don't need that.
I don't know what I did with my power cord. Go back to the chat there, everybody, and I'll get this thing hooked up to the power.
Let's see. John says the 57's rotten. Lars says 38's great offer for any non-running car. I think I agree. John says, Rich, your work had zero value. Nope, just the bottom of the doors and the runner boards, not the floors, not the frame, and not the trunk pin. That's actually good if there's not a lot of rust in it. Pistons weren't broken. We got it. Auto Salvage Outlaws says, let someone offer me $3,800 for my bird. The bird be leaving. There's a huge amount of rot in the rear against the rocker panel. I've seen it in your video. The body mount is rotted away. That's going to require some work. John, actually 2 and 3 were busted and separated from the apron. Wow. Taking a cash for a 57 and putting it towards another debt like that Jeep payment would be the most adult decision you made in years. Now, getting out of debt is key to getting hold of your life. They were also shattered in 4 pieces on top and held in by the rings. Oh, I must be talking about the pistons. Dougster is saying, is that a variable vane turbski? Could the blades be stuck in a high chute side? Yes, that is absolutely kind of what I think is going on. And whether it's a bad actuator, Dougie, or it's being told to because of a defective tune. But it's very possible that's what's going on. Rich has broken your driveway when you put the timing chain on. Mohawk says, no doubt ASO, that bird running is only worth about $800. Oh, wait, it's a Ford. Make that $300. Now Mohawk's just being mean. Twist Mopar Dennis says, I'd have to look at it. That you don't have a place to work on the car, Rich. It's been at best 1 day in a month. You've been able to do anything in the car now, and winter is coming. Yeah, that's part sucks about being up there in New Jersey. He's got a hell of a winter in front of him. It's
I'd
colder
sell
than shit.
Mohawk the tire out for my truck for $300.
There you go. Let's see. Rich says they broke because I sat since 1976. The aluminum and the pistons deteriorated again. No oil in the engine until I got it. So from 76 to 22, no oil, no fluids, and moisture. You know, just from sitting, the moisture could have absolutely eaten away at the pistons. Anything aluminum for that matter. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat says, Rich, I'll give you 6 for it. 600 pennies. $6. Car was project car when I got it. Said it didn't run. Twisted Mopar Dennis says I tried selling my Dart at one point for $2,500. Everyone said I was high. It's a 344 speed car. Everybody said I was too high. For a 344 speed car, BS. That's shit. I just saw one not too long ago sell around here for 10 grand, not running. For 344 speed car. What year's your Dart, Dennis? Actually, the one I'm talking about wasn't a Dart. It was a Duster. It was a 71 Duster. But you got 10 grand for the damn thing. Running 6 flat top pistons. Twisted Mopars is a 73. Yeah. 2,500 is not too high for that car. The thing we were talking about that earlier too. Some of these prices are getting soft. We're all caught up on the chat. Now, let's see. Dougster says 340 cars are special 340s and command more bucks. Yes, they do. Sell them cars like that 57 1600. We've done lots of work since then. John says, Rich, I heard it run back then. Those pistons were not broken. The valves were not bent. You did that putting the chain on wrong. And it had to have an awful lot of cam in it for that to happen to a 350 or a small block Chevy's not typically in stock form anyway, an interference engine. Let's see. I want to just see if
With
you said
a
that
flat
truck's
top, with a flat top piston, he would have had to have almost 700 lift in order for that valve to hit it.
yeah, and a small block
I don't-
Chevy. They typically don't. It's shit. Back in the 70s when they had the fiber gears, those things used to skip time all the time, and you drag them home, put a timing chain on them, and drive them away. Number 2, number 3 pistons were shattered and held in by the rings while separated from the aprons. Interesting. You said that truck's at 20, right, Tim?
Yes.
$20 to $22. Easy Link tuner tunes. $1,200. Where is my present? Share screen. I'm not saying I publicly do this kind of thing, but if I was gonna, that would be what I would use.
Gotcha.
If I was going to do an off-road truck, that would be my choice. Read between the lines, Tim.
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm getting at.
I do. I could use that on my race truck.
Absolutely.
That would work perfect. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if that's what's actually causing the whole problem. He was at one point putting smoke out the tailpipe, but after deleting, of course, the EGR cooler, that quit, and now it just pushes it out the reservoir.
The coolant reservoir. He's still putting
the secondary coolant reservoir. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, like we were talking about on the phone the other night. Yeah. Something's still putting pressure, and there's something. And if he's building that much boost, there is a chance that he ruptured something, whether it's his new cooler or something else in that system.
There's nothing else in there. The only thing in that system is the fuel cooler. The EGR is not even in that. The EGR filter or the EGR cooler was in the primary system. Right. The only thing on the secondary on that truck is the charged air cooler, the fuel cooler, and the transmission cooler. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah.
And it's blowing pressure. It's either, I thought maybe he had a flow problem, so we eliminated that. I mean, it's flowing just fine.
Okay, so since we talked the other day, you did confirm that it's flowing fine.
Yeah,
good.
It's flowing just fine, and the flow picks up as the RPMs pick up. So the water pump's working. It's flowing through the radiator. It sits there and idles all day long and never blows out. It doesn't get warm. Doesn't do anything. So as soon as he said a minute into boost, and it was pegged. Boost was pegged, and to be honest with you, I don't know if he was in gear or if he just raised the RPMs. If he just raised the RPMs and he went to 40 psi, then obviously he has an issue.
Yeah,
in the boost.
Because shit, you'd have to be dumping an awful lot of fuel to even light the turbo without a load on it, let alone build that kind of boost.
Right. So
first, he's got to figure out why he's building so much damn boost. I mean, I can see building that kind of boost, pulling hard, putting it to work, depending on the tune that's in it. But you got to figure that out. Get the boosting situation right. But I would say to pull the new cooler out and have the thing pressure tested. Any radiator shop can do it. Probably charging $20-$30, have the thing pressure tested. Hell, you could damn near do it yourself. The stupid thing's only about a foot cubed. They're not real big physically. You can do it in a like a stock tank full of water. You could pressure test the thing yourself.
I told him to pull the lines off of the cooler and just hook them together, bypass the cooler, and run another test. And if it doesn't blow it out, then it's the cooler.
Yeah.
And then if it's, what I can't figure out is why it doesn't blow that plastic hose off but yet it'll blow an aluminum cooler.
Right.
Are the fins that thin in there?
They shouldn't be. Shouldn't being the operative word. I'm still not 100% convinced he didn't get a defective cooler. It happens. It's not common, but it is 2025, and QC ain't what it used to be.
Yeah, but he still has to answer to the too much boost. That's
Yeah, he still has to answer the too much boost, and whether or not the cooler was defective or not, or even got damaged from too much boost, the boost issue needs to be addressed.
right, and he. I think
40
because he just
psi in a stockish engine, that's a lot of damn boost.
yeah. Well, like I said, under maximum pull, it's 30 to 35 psi is what's from what I can see. I think 30 is a little more average
on a factory tune, yeah.
on a factory tune. Now, the understanding that I have is that all this tune was a delete. It wasn't supposed to, it didn't add more power to it.
A zero power, just an emissions off tune.
That's the understanding that I have, yes. Now, is it possible that by removing that filter, you're removing a restriction, which would in turn give you more boost?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, airflow, putting airflow through a diesel is going to increase its performance, but you also have to have the fuel there to support it. And the only way you're going to get more fuel is by tuning it in. So it boils down to the tune. I think he really needs to have a sit down with the tuner, and if the tuner can't give him accurate information or good information, good data on what he's actually done with it, you might need to think about finding a different tuner.
That's what I'm thinking too.
There are a lot of, and you said he paid a pretty good chunk of money for this,
Oh my God.
you know, but that doesn't,
a lot.
There's a lot of junk tunes out there that'll blow up engines. Back in 2016, late 2016, early 2017, I replaced one of those engines in a 350. The guy that owned it was a spoiled rich kid, I guess you could say. Daddy paid for everything, and it was a 2015 350 with the 6.7 in, and he had every damn bolt-on, swap out, high performance, whatever he could buy and put on the thing. And he ended up over fueling it and melted a glow plug off, destroyed a piston, and in turn destroyed I put a brand new engine from Ford in this truck for him. So tunes vary. You know, when you're in a realm now with a tuner, or he is in a realm now with a tuner where you have to know what the hell you're doing. You can hurt things if you don't. And a bad tune can do that, especially if you don't know what to be looking for. You know, he should absolutely have a pyrometer on it and be monitoring EGTs. And it sounds like he does have a boost gauge because you're pegging the thing. But you got to watch that stuff. And the 40 pounds of boost on a stockish engine is a pretty big red flag, especially if it's building it quick and easy. That tells me it's putting a lot of fuel to it. I mean, is he getting a lot of black smoke out the exhaust? I mean, is it the quote unquote coal rolling thing, or not really?
Not
well, that's a good
not
sign.
doing none of that.
That's a good sign. But you know, to be building all that boost, you got two things going on. The actuator is stuck or failed, or it's being told to do that by its programming. Does the exhaust brake still work like it's supposed to?
I don't know that. I haven't asked him that, but I did come across that question on one of the reads.
The reason I ask that is, like I was telling you on the phone the other night, the exhaust brake, the way it works is the VGT closes the vanes, the variable geometry turbo. That is the exhaust brake, is it closes the vanes in the turbo. And one of the very first signs of a failing or failed actuator on one of those turbos is either lack of or a very poor performing exhaust brake.
So
So
that
that might
is that is on the turbo, and that is also operated through oil. Is that correct? The oil pressure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. However, it's the actuator is actually electronic and it's on the turbo. The exhaust brake is not a separate part. The exhaust brake is a function of the variable geometry turbo, if that makes sense.
Okay. It does.
Yeah, it's not like
So-
remember back in the old days, you put the old you know the diesels, you put the flapper valve in the exhaust to get your exhaust
Sure.
brake and stronger valve springs on them. It's not something like that anymore. It's actually a function of that variable geometry turbo that it elicits the same thing, but it works different. It's not a additional physical part in the system.
Okay. So that is controlled electronically, and I'm assuming the ECM probably controls it.
Correct.
And then it is the actual movement is by the oil pressure. Is that correct? Or is it electronic movement?
It's electronic.
Okay. Because I did read where those get stuck if they carbon up.
They
And he does access idle sometimes, but he's always pulling hard after it idles. So I gotta believe it gets cleaned out. I just can't see it getting all carboned up and not cleaning out, pulling that heavy load every day.
Right.
I mean, this
Well-
thing is pulling heavy loads. It's pulling 5 to 8 heavy loads every single day.
Right. Well, the biggest downside to EGR is loaded or otherwise, they build a lot of carbon because you're putting exhaust right back down its throat, is how EGR works. And
Yeah.
it's a horrible, it's cancer. I'll just call it what it is. It's cancer for an engine. EGR, especially on a diesel, is the worst damn thing that was ever thought up. So it is possible. How many miles? You said it had a bunch of miles on it, right?
He's well over 200.
Well over 200,000. If it's had EGR on it all its life, there's a good chance there's a lot of carbon, especially in the intake tract. And mechanical removal is really the only effective way to clean it. Take it apart and clean it. There are a lot of if there's a diesel shop up there that offers a BG decarbon service for the diesels, that's an excellent service and it's a great chemical cleaning. It usually costs about $600 to $700 to have it done, but it is very effective. You've heard of the company BG, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, they've been around for decades, in the automotive service world. But it's one of the better products out there. I've personally done those services. They work very well. But that service is not going to free up a stuck variable geometry turbo because that cleans the intake tract, not the exhaust tract.
So my interpretation of all of this from what I read and talking to you is the only right thing to do here is number one, determine if the charge air cooler is in fact leaking, which I believe that it is. I believe that it is.
Yeah, I
And
believe at
number
this
two-
point it's the only place for that to be getting
Right.
that pressure.
So number two is remove the turbo and clean that whole system out, however way you can.
You don't necessarily have to remove the entire turbo. Remove the actuator from the turbo. The actuator's it's an aluminum looking square box basically on the side of it. And a bolt, they either have 4 or 5 small bolts that holds it onto the side of the turbo. But of course, you got to dig, where the turbo lives on that engine. It's
Sure.
gorgeous to get to it, but you don't necessarily have to remove the entire turbo. Remove the actuator from the turbo and have a scan tool handy. You're going to need a scan tool because you have to electronically reset. Once you remove the actuator from the turbo, you have to electronically relearn it before you put it back on, because it's an extremely strong servo motor and it will break itself and or the turbo if it's not timed correctly. That's why when you install a new one, or even if you remove the old one and put it back on, you have to have a scan tool, and there's a function right in the scan tool for relearning an actuator on a turbo. So if you dive into this yourselves, make sure you've got a scan tool handy, or a buddy that's got one you can borrow or something. You will need it.
Okay.
But pull the actuator off, and at that point, you'll see the lever in the turbo after you remove it, and you should be able to easily move that by hand. Okay, and that's what the moving the vanes, controlling the vanes does.
Yeah.
And if it's not free, find out why. Either clean it, fix it, whatever to get it to move. And if you can't, then replace the turbo.
So if you buy a new turbo, it's already going to have that actuator on there, so that would already be set up. You wouldn't have to have the.
You would not need the scan tool, no. But
Okay.
you can buy the turbos both ways. And if you have a defective actuator, it will cost you a third the money to replace just the actuator. Friggin' turbos for those things are $3,000, $3,500. The actuator's $1,000, $900.
Yeah.
So I hate to see, he's already spent so much money on this thing. I'd like to see him diagnose it, and don't replace any more than you have to.
I keep trying to tell him that. He's spent
And
thousands of dollars already, and he still has the same problem.
yeah.
So
And that's why I say you need stop firing the parts cannon at it.
Yeah.
Take it apart, get into it, and diagnose it. Yes, you can buy a turbo complete with the actuator, plug and play. You can buy just the actuator. You can buy just the turbo. They come all three ways. So, if you wanted to buy the whole damn shooting match and throw on it, but you're shooting in the dark, at least before you buy a turbo, at least do like what I was just saying or something similar to be able to pull that actuator off of there and determine that it's bad. Hell, take the thing out for a drive and test the exhaust brake. That tells you a lot right there. Because if the exhaust brake, the exhaust brake cannot function if the actuator's bad or the turbo's stuck. It can't function. It is impossible because it's not a separate part. It's a function of that part. It's a quick and easy way to test that. If it works, okay. Now, does it work as well as it should? Okay. Take different, if its performance is diminished, if it doesn't work at all, that's when I'd look at that actuator and or the turbo itself.
Okay.
If the turbo's jammed, there's a good chance it's destroyed the actuator, but there's a fair chance you could unjam the turbo by cleaning it and replace just the actuator. If that fails, failing that, then buy a turbo.
All right.
And most decent scan tools will also offer you an electronic VGT actuator test that will actually sit there and cycle that actuator with the truck at idle. It's called, hell, you could simply just do the regular the standard key on engine running, KOER test, part of that test is it will run through the cycle of the VGT, and it'll pass or fail it. And when it does that, you'll hear it, because you'll hear the pit. First of all, it'll rev up the engine. It'll do all this all by itself. The screen will tell you a bunch of instructions to do. You'll hear it rev up the engine, then you'll hear things start to cycle. You'll hear the exhaust start to hiss. And when you start to hear the exhaust hiss, that's that actuator closing and opening. And, and if it doesn't do those things, it'll obviously get feedback, and the computer will tell the scan tool, and it'll tell you what it found. There's several ways.
What kind of a scan tool will do that? I mean, I have one I bought a couple years back. It's nothing fancy, but it's better than your AutoZone, scanner.
Something bidirectional, something more than just a code reader. Autel is a good scan tool, for a less expensive one. Of course, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with any of the Snap-on. Ones are kind of the best in the business. But the Autel and the Launch tools, they're Chinese made, but they're good tools. They're actually really good tools.
Autel's the one I bought, I think.
Yeah, is it like a Maxxis 908 or something? What'd you pay for?
So.
Do you know what you paid? Do you remember what you paid?
Yeah, it was almost 500, I think.
Okay, that's probably a lower one, but it should still do these tests. If it'll run bidirectional tests, it should do it.
Yeah, I ran it on my on the Lightning, and I checked the fuel pressure before I put fuel pressure gauge in.
Okay, so it does read live data and all that.
Yep.
It should be capable. It should be capable.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got nothing to lose. You already own the thing. Plug it in, and plug it into the truck, and go through the menus, go through the functional tests menus in the engine section, and you should see a VGT test.
Yeah, it seems like I remember seeing it in there somewhere.
Most of your bidirectional tools, it's a pretty basic test. Most of your bidirectional tools will do
it. Oh, I heard a bunch of noise. It's a train coming.
Oh,
we're up here. The sound travel is like, that train's probably 2 miles away from here, but I can hear him like he's right next door. But right. I also worked on a railroad for 20 years, so I kind of hear that, automatically, I guess.
Sure. You pick up on the different sounds and what they mean.
Yep. I was a tower operator and a yard master for quite a few years. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it made me old quick, though.
Right.
That was a tough job. Tough.
Railroad work is a life all its own. No, I do not know from experience, but I've known people that work the railroad. It is a life all its own. Yeah, trainman is physically hard. Tower operator, yard master, that's all mentally hard. It's really tough on you. Well, I certainly appreciate all the info, Tony. I don't know where we at in the chat here, but it's 1 a.m. here, and it's time for me to go to night-night. Yep.
So
we've been on for just
I'll get
over
back with
2
you.
hours.
Have we really? Wow. I was here from the beginning. I was just sitting back doing nothing. In fact, I may have fallen asleep a little bit there. But
Yeah, I think you were one of the first in the
gonna-
chat before I even came on.
Yeah, I was right behind Lars. So, but I'm gonna I'll let you know here in a couple of days what he did or what I did. I may drive down there Sunday. I'm not sure, but I got a lot going on tomorrow, and I still haven't even started ripping the truck apart yet. But I decided to go ahead and rip the motor out too, and gonna get the new power plant built. So we come to Sikeston next year. There'll be some surprises.
You're coming back with a vengeance. It sounds like.
Well, I might be bringing two. I might bring an S10. I'm not sure yet. I might.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
the one you were telling me about.
Yeah, it's running at around 1150, 1160. It'll go faster than that, but it doesn't have a cage or nothing in it, so I just leave it there.
Sure.
It's actually my boy's now. I actually sold it to him, and he has done nothing with it since I sold it to him. So I'm gonna. I think I think mine's going to be down most of the year, and I'm going to try to have it done by Sikeston. And I might take it down there and unveil the new power plant and everything else. It's getting a cage put in it. We're going to solid mount everything, so there'll be no more flex in it. Contemplating doing a 4-link suspension in the rear with a 9-inch. And we'll get John to get this transmission sorted out, because we're gonna put 800 horsepower to it. So
nice. See, Wilburn's already got your number. You see what he says here. Tim is bringing the heat in 2026.
I see it. Yeah, it's.
We sure look forward to it and watching it come together.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll make it to the 6s. It might, but It depends on whether I can afford the new supercharger, because I want to go up quite a bit in size on the supercharger to get that 800. And we're talking rear wheel horsepower, we're not talking motor horsepower. So it's going to be 900 engine.
That's 6s all day long.
Yeah, I need 750 to the rear wheels, because I did finally weigh it, and it weighs 4150 currently.
Mm-hmm.
And at 4150, you need at least 750 horsepower to see a low 10.
Right.
I want the truck to have the capability of running in the 9s, high 9s, but I actually want to set it up to operate around a 1020, 1025.
There you go. It'll live a long time like that.
Yeah, that's the plan. And we get this trans figured out again. Last year that trans was spot on. I mean, it worked like beautiful. I mean, I went from going out first round every race to finishing 20 points behind the champion, Yeah. And so, I mean, I didn't actually win any of the races, but I runnered up 2 of the races, and I was in top 5 at every single race I went to. So, it's just a matter of time that I just get this figured out, that I'm gonna start winning,
Oh yeah. No, that's a hell of an achievement for the very first one in the world.
Yeah.
That's an achievement all in itself.
Yeah, the first year it worked really well, and then this year I've had troubles with it quite a bit, and it's related to the same problems that the other transmissions were having in the diesels, and so we got to take it apart, see what happened,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure
something gave way in it.
Yeah, something did, and it's that's John's going to figure it out. I have no doubt.
Oh, he
in that.
will.
I mean,
I have every confidence, and he's a master in his craft.
Yeah, and I'm going to give him plenty of time. There's no time limit on this one. I'm going to drop it off when it's ready. I'm going to come get it, and because the truck's not going to be ready for it for a while, and if I get the the urge to race, I'll just go get the S10 out and tune it up. I got a transmission to throw in it, and then I'll go to the track and have fun with it, you know. So
Sure. Yeah.
So that's kind of the plan, and I am going to stay up here and work one more year, but after that I'm done. I just want to play with the hot rods after that. So
You earned it, buddy. You earned it.
yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward, and I'm actually buying another truck, another tow rig, and I'll share it with you all on the channel when I get it. So
Cool.
but
That's cool.
but just
Look
be
forward
looking
to
for it. Hopefully within a month I'll have it. And unfortunately, I have not done anything with the video that I've taken at No Name National. So since I've been back, it's been nonstop, and to the point where I come home, all I want to do is pass out. So
Kind of
I
been the
told
same
everybody
for me. Yeah, I've got a
Yeah.
couple up, but I haven't gotten much processed either.
Yeah, me neither. I just did the shorts and everything, and I got probably enough material to put 3 or 4 longer videos up. And
Oh,
plus,
sure.
I got the stuff, for load when you were loading your trucks up. I got all that to put up
Yep.
yet. I haven't done that. So yeah, I'm gonna hopefully this week get started on that, and the pressure should be off come Monday. Our last retreat was last weekend, and that was a huge one. I swear to God, all I did the whole retreat was make tea. We went
Oh,
through
shoot.
34 gallons of tea. We went through in
Oh
3
my
days.
gosh.
So, and I am a
That's
connoisseur.
crazy.
I have a special way that I brew it, and it's pretty good. So,
That's cool.
but yeah, it's been busy, and I don't mind it being busy. I just don't like it when I don't get my personal stuff taken care of, So
Right. I
But
feel
like I-
that pain a lot.
yeah, it's tough to, and then the last 3 days on Friday during the retreat, when the retreat was just starting, I broke both of the company pickups.
Oh, shit.
And mine was still hooked up to the race truck, or the race trailer. So I had to unhook it and use mine because I had to have transportation. And
Right.
I broke the shifting tube on it's a 2003 Ford F350, and that automatic shift tube that goes down the top of the steering column broke right in half.
Yep. I have seen that happen before.
And do you know how hard it is for an old man with a broke back get up underneath that dashboard and fix that?
I can tell
I
you how
struggled
hard
with
it
it.
is. I can tell you how hard it is for a young man without a broke back to do it. So
Yeah.
I have
Yeah, it was not-
repaired more than one of those steering columns for that very same issue in prior days. Remember, I used to own a general repair shop. I did a lot of that crap day in and day out.
Yeah. So
I do not
I've
envy
had,
you on that one.
yeah, I had a semi repair shop. I had a body shop, and I had a big snow plowing business all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I did any of it.
That'll,
I don't know.
that'll keep you busy.
Yeah, I gave it all up to come up here, and it was not a mistake. Believe me, it was not. It's so nice up here. It's busy, and we went through some rough times with COVID and everything, down to, I used to have a crew of 5 doing all the work here. Now it's me. And I get volunteers here once in a while, but I don't know if you've ever dealt with volunteers, but let's just say we could do better.
Right.
So
I
Mohawk,
get it,
I love
man.
your son T as well. So, anywho, it's time for me to go night night. It's a pleasure talking with you guys, and again, looking forward to next year for sure.
Awesome.
I don't think I can run with Dylan, but I might be able to give Dylan a run.
There you go. And he's only getting faster too, but I don't have any plans for Sunday, so I'll just be kind of around the house. If you do decide to go down and get into your buddy's Ford, feel free to call. If you get into something,
right.
you got questions, holler at me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you.
Well, I appreciate that, Tony. I really do. I know that he's out of time and out of money, as he puts it. He's not made the great decisions in this process, and it's cost him dearly. So,
Well, I
I
kind of know where he's at because I've been there, and it's the angst now because he's out of
Yes.
time, he's out of money, he's in panic mode, and he's like, "Oh my God, I've got to get this thing fixed at any cost." And that's when you get rushed and panicked like that. That's when you start making bad decisions, and a bad thing gets worse. You know.
That's true.
I'm preaching to the choir on that. You get it. I don't think he's getting
Oh,
it.
he's not. And I've told him, I literally flat out told him, do not buy another part until we figure out exactly what is wrong. You can't afford to change parts on these machines because they're all, I don't think one thing that he's done has been less than $1,000.
No, everything is 4 digits anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're
So,
lucky
I mean,
if the first one's a 1.
the charged air cooler was like $989, but then he broke the little plastic clip in the hose. He had to pay $22 for a plastic clip.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no good. So, well, all right. With that, I'm gonna sign off, and we'll catch you all next. Well, you said Saturday, probably, huh?
Yeah,
Next
probably
week?
Saturday because I'm going to that wedding on Friday. So if I ain't stepping on nobody, I'll probably go live on Saturday this week.
I got a big wedding to go to in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, November 15th. So Wilburn might get a surprise visit.
Oh, I'll bet he'd enjoy that.
Yeah, I might swing back through there on the way home because I'm thinking about running up to Pennsylvania with my block and drop it off to the engine builder. He's on the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, so it wouldn't be very far. I mean, it wouldn't. I don't think it'd be out of my way to go up by John. So I might do that.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun for you guys.
So. Well, all right.
Right on,
See
Tim.
you
Will you get
all
yourself
next
some
week.
rest and have a good evening?
Thank you, sir.
Mohawk says, yeah, another call out. Heck yeah. ASO says parts are high. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. We're 2.5 hour mark. LP Lars says, Tim is awesome. Yes, he is. He's a good dude. Real good dude. One-Eyed Cat says, later. We are at the 2.5 hour mark. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night myself. It's 10:15 here. Go ahead and shut her down. Yeah, we still got 12 people in here. It's been a good live, good night hanging out. It's been fun getting back in it. I know it's been a minute since we did a Friday night live, but we're going to try and get back to being a regular thing around here, except for this weekend because we got a wedding on Friday night. So, like I was saying, possibly if we're not stepping on nobody. That's why I was asking Brian earlier if he's doing Saturday. If he ain't, we'll go on at 7 on Saturday. If he is, maybe we'll go on at a different time. Just I'll give you a couple hours heads up. I'm gonna go ahead and do a live. If it don't work out, we'll see you in 2 weeks. With that, I'm going to sign off and thank everybody for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Take care now.